I've never been here before. Yep.
On the slipway to start with, then the keel at top of that, like a backbone, and the frames attached to that, like a skeleton.
Workshops everywhere. It took weeks to find your way around. But the workshops for every trade you ever heard of. Painters, sailmakers, coppersmiths, boiler makers, cabinet makers. I even learned a bit about French polishing off them.
Harbour is a fine place to work, but dangerous. Every ship cost a life, and there'd be lots of injuries besides.
I was in the engine works for a while. Very well equipped it was. That's where we built the triple expansion engines. 2 of them, each as high as a 3-story house.
I worked in the frame bending shop. You'd heat steel beams in the furnace, then hook them onto slabs of cast iron and hammer them curved. It was skilled work. You had to bend them more than you needed because the frame straightened out a little when it cooled.
The shell plates that made up the hull weighed up to 4.5 tons. They were taller than the da.
The plates were overlapped on the edges. Some were raised, one after another. We called it clincher. One of the foremen told me years ago, that's how you built steel ships.
I worked as a heater boy. You had to heat the rivets on a wee plate. You pump the bellows till the rivet was white hot, then you get a hold of it with your tongs and throw it up to the catcher, and he put it in the hole in the plate with the holder up.
There were 2 of us on the other side of the plate with the holder up. We had to hammer the rivet so it filled the hole before it turned dull red.
The double bottom. That's a wee space we called the tanks, made up of steel plates. The rest of the rivet squad all had to fit into that gap.
One of the 4 men would check each rivet with a special hammer. If it made a ringing sound, we'd have to get back. We'd chase it out after work.
I'd get scared working down in that double bottom. You only had candles for light.
And the constant hammering against the shell plates. You could hear it all over Belfast. Some of those boys ended up stone deaf, so they did. We were paid 31 bob a week. The heater boy in Catchward got 16 bob. But we all worked the same 54 hours.
The upper deck was steel too, and part of the strength of the ship. There's no straight lines on a ship, and when you look down the weather deck, you can see the sheer of the hull, a stopped reflection at sea.
The stern frame had to be strong enough to take the rudder turning in heavy seas. You'd have all these timbers and guy wires to steady the frame, and men scurrying around like ants underneath.
When we came to launch day, I was torn between pride and fear. The standing ways were coated in tallow, train oil and soft soap. So the ship would slide when they shifted her weight off the blocks. That was the most dangerous part. When the shipwrights were knocking away the last props, they were under compression, you see, and the sliding ways would be...
Yeah, that's made of wood, that wooden one. My Olympic's much more better.
Titanic was dressed in her single flags and pennants as a Good Friday tribute to the people of Southampton who had welcomed her. By April 10th, the ship had been fully provisioned. Including 40,000 eggs, 1,000 the Board of Trade expecting to be in New York in a few days.
There was no moon, so it was dark. For a long time we didn't move the boat. All the lights were burning.
On the nicest ship in the world, and coming with some of the nicest people in the world too. Isn't that just splendid?
away from home will make me a better man and try and be a good life.
The last light was out, just the one of this violin. You find her in silver black in front of our legs as for Wallace. Our description for Wallace on the occasion of our engagement and realised that this became the Titanic. It was then validated and valued and came back in 2001.
What happened to the strings?
Full of irony, all have one story to tell, folks, but below your feet now you see the wreck of Titanic sea rise 2.5 miles beneath the Atlantic.
I got the count right, replayed all of them. Oh god, no.
For many years, Belfast did not focus on the story of
There's that one. All the ships they've built. Up to Titanic. I just hope I could see it in person. No, no.
Perhaps he takes up some new ideas. Like the ladies. They bring the latest fashions from Paris to show off in American ballrooms.
We spent hours down here in the smoke and the dust.
Restoration work. Oh hey, that says the list, and I'm going to Olympic, Majestic, and Homeric, if I'm not mistaken. I just know any tiling. Oh, this must be like the Olympic house? I don't remember correctly. Oh, what is it actually? That's wait. That's disgraceful. Queen Elizabeth.
There's something about the ship, there's a certain spirit about it to get a sense of the history and the story. We would like to think that on board we've told that story.
accordion. Very French. We're in the bow section.
What time at your service? Not long now, and we'll be on our way.
I never thought I'd be doing this, and I'm so happy. Can't go any further, but that's okay.
Let's go!
Okay.
Let's go! Hiya, look!
I'm doing this. I shan't trust you. Yeah, that doesn't work anymore. Alright. Okay, so. I would put it to slow ahead, but it doesn't go slow ahead anymore.
Yeah, this is weird, actually.
The more you know.